Hello, friends. I can't tell you how excited I am about this new homily series coming up that Father Patrick and I are going to present starting this week. It's on the Mass, it's the year of the Eucharist, and so we really want us to get really excited about what we're doing and to just review about why we do what we do, that sort of thing, right? So there are 5 things I really, really want you to know. I have to memorize them myself, so we'll see how I do, okay? But you need to do it too. I'm gonna catch you at Mass and say, what are these 5 things, right? So let's work on them together, okay? The first thing is that the Mass is the source and summit of our Christian life. Now, we do a lot of things, okay? And some things we look forward to, like planning and going on vacation, right? Who doesn't like that? There are other things. Hopefully when you go to work that you kind of like going to work, but maybe you don't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Actually, the same thing's true about vacations too, right? So you never know about things that we do, okay? And we do a lot of things, and many of them are just important. Some of them are not so important. It's kind of like the things that we do for entertainment, right? And most of us look forward to doing things like that, to veg out and to do, to be entertained. But the most important thing, and we got to get this straight in our heads, the most important thing that any of us does or do is go in bodily form to Mass. Nothing's more important. It's the source and summit of our life. If we can get that, everything falls into line. Okay? So it's good for us, especially even if we do come to Mass, okay? To realize this, and that it's not just a rote thing, right? It might feel like rote, and sometimes it is, but it's the most important thing we do. Just showing up. Okay. The second thing is that it's a celebration. Eucharist means giving thanks. All it takes to be saved in God's eyes is a heartfelt expression of gratitude, right? I mean, after all, He took care. And He takes care of us in the Mass with the 2 biggest problems we have in life. You know what your 2 biggest problems are? The same as mine. Sin and death. And the Mass takes care of those 2 problems. Do we have a deep sense of gratitude? If we do, we're experiencing salvation in our hearts right now. But the place to do that is in the Mass. It's an act of gratitude. Your bodily presence, right? Okay, good. Okay, now the next thing that's important about the Mass is that it is a sacrifice. Okay, it's worship. And worship is sacrifice. Okay, now we might think, well, worship might be, I raise my hands and sing a song and feel really good and that sort of thing. And I get good vibes inside. Well, hopefully that's part of it. It'd be interesting to see more people raise their hands. I do it all the time. I'm a priest, but I'm paid to be crazy, they say. So anyways, if we can just grasp the fact that we come to church not for what we can get so much as what we can give. Okay? We sacrifice ourselves. Christ sacrificed Himself at the altar. We come to the altar corporately, sacrificing ourselves for God, back to God, self-gifting our lives back to God, but also self-gifting ourselves to everyone around us. That's what it is. It's worship is sacrifice. Can't separate it. That's because love is sacrifice. Can you imagine love without sacrifice? Well, our culture does. Love is what makes me feel good, right? But in the church culture, love is actually gifting yourself to another. So that's the third one. The fourth one, am I right on that? Yeah, okay, let's see if I can get it myself. Okay, the fourth one is that we have to do liturgy. It's a liturgy. It's a ritual that we do together. Okay? It's not drama, or it's kind of a drama lived out. It's a ritual. And that means we all have to be engaged. We can't just sit back. Like when I was a Protestant, you come in, sing some songs, sit down, and hopefully the 40-minute sermon is entertaining enough to keep you awake, that sort of thing. But it's not that way in the Catholic Church. There are other responses. There's the readings that we have to engage in. There's songs. Part of your responsibility is to get that song, which is deep down into our chest, and get it out so we can hear it, okay? So that's part of the work of the liturgy. Liturgy means work. You're coming to church to work, right? And so that means to be engaged both in the liturgy of the Word, which is the first part, and the liturgy of the Eucharist, where we really give ourselves over in the liturgy. And so these are important things, okay? There's another one, and that is the Mass is a mystery. This is a hard one for us rationalists, because us rationalists in this culture are afraid of the dark. That is, we're afraid of anything we can't explain. But the Mass is something that we must experience. It's a mystery. We can't explain it. It's good to apply our minds to the theology of the Eucharist. We'll be doing that throughout this time. But it's a mystery to be experienced. It's full of joy, inexpressible, full of glory. And therefore we have to approach it with faith. And not just our minds. We approach it with all of our interiors, but we really have to approach it with faith. And then the Mass will open up to us all of its beauties and its charms. So, let's see here. Is that it's the source and summit of our lives. Most important thing we do. Okay? And the second thing is that it is a joyful celebration and gratitude. That's very important. And the third thing is that it is a sacrifice. The fourth thing is that it's liturgy, it's work as part of the sacrifice, liturgy of the Word, and liturgy of the Eucharist. And finally, it's a great mystery. We approach it as a mystery that we grow into. Now, doesn't that sound fun? Isn't that great? See you on Sunday. God bless.